Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome to Cities Skylines. When I put out the call a few days ago about what other games to play on the Calming Content series, Cities Skylines was, well, the close, very close race with Kerbal Space Program. And while I really like both games, I've decided that Cities Skylines is probably the more relaxing way to do it. And aside from that, it's, as far as I'm concerned, the easier thing to record. So that's a win for me. Now, what you can expect from this series is no ad interruptions. I'll not be running ads intermittently in the videos. You might just have one at the start. And there's going to be a bit of me talking, building the city, and of course the background music that Paradox has added to City Skylines. I'm going to be starting a new city, and the city is going to grow, well, over time, of course. I'm currently not running any mods. I know that there are a lot of quality of life mods. And when I need some of those, I'll either look for them or ask in one of the future videos, hey guys, what sort of mods do I need? So recommending mods right now is probably just going to get ignored because I get so many comments during the days that I can't possibly read, let alone remember everything. So mods are future to come. Now my plan over here is to build a city that's as green and as friendly as possible. And for that, I have acquired the both Green Cities and Industries mods. Or not mods, but DLCs. Courtesy of Paradox. So link down below to that in the description. And I'd say, well, let's get started. Let's get to building a city. The map that I'm going to be operating on is Grand River. And I still need a city name. Right. What the hell do you go for as a city? Let's go with my old town, where I used to live. Utrecht, in the middle of the Netherlands. And it'll be a nice tongue twister for everybody who's not natively Dutch or Belgian, because the G sound from Utrecht, that's something that most nationalities, most languages don't have. It's very hard to pronounce, and it is also present in my own name. Which is Michiel, in case you're still wondering what the name is behind Stealth 17. It's a name that is very hard to pronounce for non-Dutch speakers. So, as I'm going over various different names to pick for my kid, which is going to be born in September, one of the rules that my wife and I have already mutually agreed on, as for our naming conventions, is that the name needs to be easily usable in English. It needs to be easily pronounceable in English. That's key. Alright, so welcome to the map here. We got two entry points. One over here, one over there. What is that? Is that a defunct building? Okay. Yeah, I'll build roads. I'm just gonna try and plan out my city a bit before I do that. Now, one thing that I have a tendency to do in this game is to min-max it. I constantly build grids and it becomes this hugely boring city. I'm also trying to fight the urge to do that, and at the same time, it's handy to have. Now, as far as traffic flow is concerned, grids can be helpful, but they can also be a bit of a detriment because they might have the traffic all just jam up. You can have it packed too tightly and it will come to a halt. Now, I'm not very experienced in building roads and making sure that these are as optimized as possible. I've seen a couple of vids by Biffa Plays, and that guy is an absolute expert at making sure that the roads work. I am not such an expert, that's for sure. I am not such an expert. I'm going to try and do my best. Now, what I want to do first is set up a sort of round-ish neighborhood over here. Or actually, maybe close to the water. And then have industry over there. And the industry I'll probably will have a grid. And then my my roundabout-ish infrastructure is going to come here. So let's go with a small area for industry, and I'm intentionally doing this first to make sure that I can then make use of the better roads to connect this to the rest of the city. Now, going as green as possible is potentially going to cause some issues. because I'm limiting myself to the type of buildings that are going to be available. That is a consideration. We'll just have to see how it goes. Let's see, this is a 6-lane road with parking spaces. Is that handy if I want to build I definitely don't need parking spaces on the roundabout that I have planned here. 6-lane road with parking spaces supports high traffic. I think that that would be a pretty good idea to put over here. Alright, let's see. If I'm gonna do it like this, I'll have to curve it. I'm gonna have to make it a little longer. No. As you can tell, I am not very good at this game. I have played it a bit in the past, but not a whole lot. So I have a lot to learn, undoubtedly. I think that this is way too big, actually. Oh, and these things need to be one-way roads, come to think of it. There. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm supposed to have the curvature in that road. I'm thinking that this little bit over here might be impossible, or not. Okay, or not. Let's see, where's that other road coming out at? Here? I can always redo this thing later, and I probably will, judging by how poorly it looks. Right, so that is the first road. That cost me 21k, that first bit of infrastructure. Let's see about the actual neighborhoods. I want to have those relatively close to the water. I want to have them in... let's say, I guess a bit of a grid-ish design. Just not with these extremely sharp corners, at least, or maybe not the whole time anyway. But I think that the first neighborhood is going to have to be like this, regardless of whether I want it or not. Just to get my first bit of population in, and make sure that I can start earning some money on taxes. Okay. Let's set up the neighborhoods. And I can already see the comment section going, proclaims he doesn't want grids. First thing he proceeds to do is build grids. Yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Alright, that's one. I need to get my industry powered. And I'd ideally also have some commerce in here. I can just cut these things up. I can have commerce here. Right, make sure this is connected. Let's do that with a 4-lane. And another one here. This roundabout's probably going to get pretty busy. And then over here, we're going to have a road directly to the industry. Which I still have to mark up as industry. There. Okay then, time to get some water pumping stations. What do I want to build? These are the standard water pumping stations. You also have the water drain pipe, where the sewage comes out. But I much prefer to keep it green, so I'm going to have an eco water outlet. And by using that, I'm not going to be polluting the area at all. Whereas this one, it dumps pollution. Alright, let's set up the intake valve pretty far upstream, and then the output valve a little bit downstream. And then follow the road here. They do need power. Power here has been supplied, and power here has been supplied now as well. Okay, I think we can get going. The first lot is being built on. The Laurel Residence. welcome, my dear people. Looks like a new lot's being built, the Kent residence. First thing you gotta do, of course, when you're building a house, is immediately pitch your garden gear and your, I think, sunscreen, and then finish construction of the house. People gotta get their priorities straight. Alright, we have no people living here yet, but with the houses completing, we should start seeing people come in. This is... holy shit, this is a really big place, isn't it? 0 out of 2 households. That even seems like a bit of an underestimation. I think you could fit 3 in there if you really wanted to. Alright, so let the time progress for a bit. Oh, please don't tell me that I built it the wrong way. Because if this is the core access road, then that could mean that people... oh, never mind. Oof, thought that we're not going to move in for a second, but they are. And the industry is not coming up yet. There's not that much of a demand for industry, though. Only a medium demand. Now, I'm probably generating way too much power for what I actually need. So let's open up the budget page. How much am I getting? How much do I need? I have a demand of only 2 megawatts, and I'm producing 8 times that. That's a little over the top. So let's cut this down to 50%, and that saves quite a bit on the budget. And the same thing probably can be done for water. They are requesting 2,500, and I'm producing 120,000. So let's cut that down to 50%. First 111 residences, or residents, have moved in. Now comes the need for industry. Oh, come on. You guys have power, right? Yeah, you guys have power, just don't know it. Here. Start building there. But not here. There we go. Industry has power. Now these are just very, very polluting industries initially. And my plan is to, at some point, when I get access to it, replace these with the better, or at least in my consideration, better, the more green options. Yeah, I know about the overlays. Right, let's just wait for a couple more people to move in. Set up a bit more of an area. Let's do another one residential there. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of cash left. I could take out a loan, but only at a population of 360. So let's set up another small road. A really small road at that. And just fill up some of the blocks here, so that I can get to my 360 population. I might go into the red for a bit. So be it. Oh, the people are coming in. There's not that much demand for residential zones yet, but it is climbing. 160. You can now make a zoned building a historical preserve. Yes, if I click on a building, I can tick on the historical building, and it's not going to change shape, but it will be upgraded eventually. And you can upgrade this by educating more citizens. If you educate your citizens, you're going to make sure that your town gets more intelligent workers, and by doing that, you can attract better industries. At least that's the way that I've understood it. Now let's say that you're a new resident driving into town. Where are you going? Yes. You. Hatchback. Going to the Summit residence. Owner is Pierce Crowley. Uneducated adult. And he's a cleaner at the ice cube factory. He's just coming home. Outside connection needed. I do have an outside connection. Uh-oh. What I do not have is power. Or at least, not enough. Time to up it then. How much is needed? 4 out of 4 is being consumed, yes. Let's up it to 65%. Produced 6, requested 4. And I just skimmed over the green line. I'm now actually getting money instead of losing money. It's not by a lot, but at least it's a small margin. We still got new guys coming in. I need to get to 360, because that's going to give me a decent cash influx. 313. Oh, there's not enough residential space here. Alright, fill this area up. I don't know how you want to build on a lot like that, but that's not really my problem. I'm just making the space available. 340. Getting there. Now see, we have space for households, but they're not all being used. There we go, a little hamlet. I now have access to taxes, loans, garbage, healthcare, education, a whole bunch of new buildings as well. Right, first things first, I'm going to take out a loan to make sure that I can grow a little faster. The Silver Sunset Bank is going to give me 20k. It has a 5% interest, which is not terrible. Total cost, or total, is going to be 21,000 to repay. Okay then. So now we have our fledgling town. The next thing I want to set up is a recycling center. Citizens can recycle more different kinds of waste when the city has a recycling center, making less garbage pile up. The center produces a small amount of raw materials from the waste. Let's put that up. Oh, hold on. I need to upgrade this road first. Just a little bit. I want that to be easily accessible, so let's put it over here. And then comes potentially, if I can afford it, a medical clinic. That's 10,000. And I also have access to the elementary school and the community school. So I have options. This is going to give me a capacity of 300. This is going to give me a capacity of 250. Cost 12k, cost 10k. Small and safe community school allows children to get education and grow into educated adults. An alternative to elementary school. Why or how this one is better or worse, I'm not too sure about. Maybe it's just a different way of doing business. Or, well, not doing business, but getting your kids trained. Educated, sorry, not trained. They're not dogs. Although some of them, at times, I believe, can behave like that. Right. Time for more residential space. Let's say that I want to make a neighborhood here in the middle. It is going to get pretty close to the industry, initially. They won't be too happy about that. But the thing is, I can pretty quickly get that fixed and turn it into an industry that's green. I just need to get a couple more upgrades for my town. I needed to get it a little bigger. Alright, here is me spitballing. Curved road. This one I actually don't really like. It's gonna get in the way. I want this to be one of those four-lane roads. So two towards, two back. Let's say it here. And the same thing on this edge here. Suppose that sort of lines up. I want to make a turn over here. Like that. With a smaller one inside of it. Not too far. One notch farther. I'm sure these could be made a little nicer, but this, for my taste, is already quite the upgrade over my usual flat out, let's go build a brick of a city structure. Alright, and let's make this another access point here, to make sure that everybody can get home in a decent fashion. Alright, this is all going to be residential. I'll set up a couple of commerce buildings here, local supermarkets and stuff like that. I'll probably try and put the school and other emergency, well, the school, full stop, plus other emergency services over here. Schools are not emergency services, of course. Residences there, they already have water, so that should be fine. I can afford a school, but I don't really have that many people who are eligible for it, I think. We got 54 eligible. If I put down a school that can house 250 or even 300... that's a bit of overkill. So let's just let it grow for a bit. Recycling center can probably suffice for the time being. Yeah, production 8,944 units, 9,000 out of 24. So for the moment that's more than enough. And the new residences are coming up here. This little bit here. I don't have access to parks yet, unfortunately, because having a park over here could also help out. Alright, let's just let it grow for a bit. We're doing okay on water and power? Yeah, not quite. Sewage production, well, sort of. Although I'm getting quite close to my sewage capacity. Power? Pretty even, so I probably have to up it again. Let's go to 100%. And here we go. They're building their little houses on the new areas that I designated as buildable space. There's a bit of demand for commerce, there's a bit more demand for industry. Let's get another industry sector built. For industry, I generally don't care. I like my neighborhoods to look good, but the industry... It's industry, it's... You know... I've never really seen a beautiful looking corporate or industrial area. It's always a bunch of randomly thrown together buildings. Now, money is still positive, but of course I'm spending way faster than I'm getting money. Power is good. Water could be better. Let's go to 70%. Over here we got the Frank's Fish Sticks factory. These are the commerce buildings, I guess? No, these are... Oh, no, these are industry. I must have done something wrong here. These are not supposed to be here. This is supposed to be residential area. So take your ice cube factory and go build it somewhere else. Okay, we need a bit more commerce. I might be able to do that here. Just make a bit more room. And let's assume that I want to mirror this the other way as well. In that case, I would probably need to do something similar here. And I could have a big park down here in the middle. And then just create a sort of oval shape. This is not a lot of space. Yeah, the game doesn't allow me because it's a little unevenly built. I might be able to get rid of this thing though. Or is that gonna throw all my power out of whack? Yeah, that throws my power out of whack. Fixed. Let's remove this one. No, not the whole thing. There. And now I can build a lot more of this stuff. Okay, so that fixes commercial. Money is still pretty decent. Let's say extend this to here. Ish. There. And then this thing here. This here. Do I really need another access road to get to the industry? I wonder. Maybe not. Alright, and then back to the 4 roads. That's going to be to here. To here. And then try and get that, well, loop-ish thing in place again. Not even sure what sort of a corner I'm building. 1, 4, 5, I think. Not perfectly happy with it, but I already know that there's a mod that allows you to reshape and replace roads later. And you guys, if you have any suggestions in the comments on how to make sure that this is going to be more efficient, then I'm all ears. I know that there are a lot of you out there who are way better at this game than I am, who have played hundreds and hundreds of hours. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know, and I will try to implement them into the next video. As for the frequency of this series, to manage some expectations, I expect to do these things about once a week. That's the plan. The reason why, and I know that they might be popular, the reason why is that there is a lot of there are a lot of different games that I want to be covering, and I cannot possibly cover everything. So I'm gonna have to do a bit of everything. That means a bit of SnowRunner, a bit of Avorion, a bit of Ultimate Admiral, a bit of Wargame. It's gonna be spread out. That's the only way that I can try and fit in the content, and I'm already pushing my schedule. So I still get quite a lot of games offered to me by publishers. I still get people saying, hey, you should play this or that, or yes, I would love to, but I just don't have any more, let's say, production slots available. I just can't. Let's see, put some commerce here. No, put some commerce here. Money's still positive. Worthy village. Reach a population of 750. Open up. Districts, policies, second loan, district specializations, services policies, fire department, police department, unique buildings, forestation specialization. That's the one that I was looking for. Forestation specialization. This is going to allow me to get my industry green, and the same can be done for buildings. Self-sufficient residential buildings recycle their waste and produce energy with solar panels, and by other means. They consume 30% less electricity, they produce less garbage. Unfortunately, they also generate less tax income. But I can live with that, as long as I can be able to build a green city. And I can have organic and local produce, which is a commercial specialization. It produces 50% of sold goods locally. So the way that I think that works, as is indicated by the second tooltip, is that it just reduces traffic, which is nice, because that means you can have a smaller area, or at least you won't have as much traffic going to and from it. Increases electricity consumption by 20% and reduces garbage production by another 20%. Right. I want to turn this whole area green. Most importantly, this bit. And this is something, by the way, that I will also need you guys' help for. What short? Yes, Mr. Connery. What sort of a name should I give to this particular neighborhood? Residential self-sufficiency. That's one. And I also want local produce. Then we're going to have the district over here, which is industry. And it's probably going to be a little bigger than that. And that's going to be forestry. No. Forestry. You can also have farmland. Considerably increased water consumption, slightly increased tax income, but it requires fertile land. Now, the way that this is going to work is that these industries are now not quite adhering to my policy. So you can already see some of these vacating their properties. And by doing that, making room for bigger, or well, not so much bigger, for greener industries. Like this one. Woody's Wood. A very, very creative way of naming your business. But this way, at least, I won't have any pollution. Which, right now, could be a problem. What was pollution again? That's garbage. Wind. Pollution. This should start to decrease significantly. Because I won't have any of those large fuming factories. I'll have smaller, more green buildings. Or industries, rather. Right. Can I set up a school? Is that worth it at this point? Now I have 119 eligible students. So if I set up a school and give it about 25% or 50% of its budget, I'll be able to service most of my residences here. So that's the community college, or community school. And that is schools down to 50%. Yes, I can set policies, but policies can be a bit of a water, or a bit of a cash trap. Power usage. This means that people are going to be conserving more power. Moderately reduced energy or electricity consumption, but you're paying $5 per building. And I was doing a test game earlier. I noticed that that was just pushing me over budget by a large margin. Now look at this, by the way. Normally my electricity consumption was about 8 to 16 megawatts. It went up. Right now it's gone down. Because most of these residences, not this one, these guys are now green. They're a self-sufficient building. They don't need as much power. Now with the overhaul of the town comes a little period of not getting too much money, which is fine. I'll just have to make do with that. Still got one or two potentially slightly more polluting buildings over here. There we go. It's decreasing. That's exactly what I want to see. Hold on, you got no power? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe... Oh, no, never mind. I thought for a second that I just didn't put enough power, but that was being caused by all these residences being rebuilt. That's not true. These people just decided to live quite literally off the grid. And because of that, they're going to have to wait until other houses are built, which then sort of share their power grid, I guess. Next stop for my town is going to be 1,200 people. So I need to get quite a lot more. Oh, we got crime. Crime rate is high. Somebody call the cops. Deploying a police station is 12,000 out of my 13,000. That's expensive. But I can probably reduce the budget and thus make it manageable for the time being. Police, here. Put them at 50%. This one's been disconnected. But to such an extent that I'm not generating, or sharing rather, any power anymore. There. These guys might be green, but they probably still want power. Pollution? negligible. The only thing that might be causing pollution is the recycling center. Alright, I'm positive again. Ish. But my margin of money, my bank balance is really, really low. Alright, so what have you guys decided to build? These don't look particularly green or self-sufficient. When I'm thinking of self-sufficient buildings, I'm mostly thinking of buildings which have a lot of solar panels on them or are built in a particularly eco-friendly way. I'm not seeing that. But maybe that's going to be the next tier of the building. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see. The police. 3 out of 3 police cars in use. 1 of 20 criminals in the holding cells. The school. Oh, crap. I might have a bit of a fire problem over here. I cannot afford a police or a fire station, so I'm gonna have to take out another loan and build the fire department. Gentlemen, I'm gonna need you to immediately jump into action. Fire engines used, 0 out of 6. Go, go, go! Whoa! A turn on 2 wheels right there. Abandoned buildings, yes. That makes sense because they kind of got bulldozered. Oh, no, no, no. That's the cinematic mode. Another abandoned one. Yeah, so lesson learned. Make sure you have a fire department or you're going to be paying the price. I was looking at the school, by the way. The elementary school has, by the looks of it, not enough budget. Oh, crap. Power. How bad? 16 out of 16. I think I'm already running at 100%. Yep. There we are. Power's back online. Eventually. Really? Are you gonna be like that about it? There you are. I won't need this line anymore. Are these all parked? Yeah. For a second there I thought that this was all piling up. But the traffic was getting really bad. But fortunately, it's alright. Alright, so I need to get to 1,200 residences. Or 1,200 residents, 1,200 population. I'm at 922. So I need to install a few more zones where people can start building their homes. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong zone. Mayor has changed his mind again. I'm gonna build a park somewhere, but I'm not sure where yet. Yeah, these are the buildings that I cannot afford yet. We also will need a bit more commerce by the looks of it. How about having another local produce area over here? Is this gonna cut off my whole power again? It isn't? How are these guys getting power then? Ah. There it is. That frees up this power grid here. Now producing power from here to there, and then the rest of the city is connected, so that should work. Alright. Over here, maybe just have some standard commercial buildings, because these fall outside of the scope of Olive Square, as the district is called. Or, well, sort of fall outside of the area. This is not part of it. It extends to that double road and not farther. Yeah, this is good. Good enough. This, by the way, in no way, shape or form resembles Utrecht at all in real life. Not at all. It doesn't look anything like it. But I thought it was just an interesting name as a tongue twister. Now, I have a fair amount of money. I can start to pay back one of my loans. And that's also going to free up a bit more weekly income. Let's have another look at the school. I have 166 students eligible for elementary school education, but I don't have anywhere near the budget or near the capacity for it. So let's put this back at 100%. Capacity 250. So that'll do, and that'll make sure that I still have a bit of growth available. We are now at 1039. I still need a few more. Go for another standard neighborhood over here. Oh. Is that... Ah, that's not too bad, actually. That's not too bad. We'll just put these things in as residential. And maybe a park here. The building has leveled up. Very good. Cherry residence. Oh, and now they decided to leave? Or did they move? What happened here? They just up and walked away. What's the land value like? Let's check. Oh, which indicator was that again? Natural resources, leisure. Oh, I can't see that yet. I probably need to get to 1200 before I'm going to be able to tell that. So far, not too shabby. Police offer small storage available. Call 911 for information. If they call 911, they're probably gonna get me in the form of 911 operator. But if they start asking about small storage space, I'm probably gonna hang up on them. Nice bit of crossover between those series. Police. I have 2 out of 3 cars available. How's crime? Not too bad. What you got there? Citizens are sick. Oh, we need to set up medical services. Let's see, is there any decent way to fit that in? I guess here. It covers almost the entire town from here. Let's do that. And it's also connected to the main road, Travis Boulevard. So vehicles will be able to get out and get back quickly. Where are you going? That's some sharp parking right there. 1149, 1150. I'm not sure if these actually make sense. I don't think people can build a house that's that small. But here's to trying. $11.82, 84. Power check, good. Water check. Not good enough. Draining capacity is not good enough. Up it to 85. Yep, tiny town completed. And how is my recycling capability? 22,900 units produced out of 24,000 total. Okay, so I'm actually doing quite well. Alright, this is the point where I'm going to end the episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this new addition to the Calm content series. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have any beginner's tips or, well, in your case, probably advanced tips on city management. and I'll try to implement them. But keep in mind, I get a lot of comments, I get a lot of suggestions, recommendations, and message traffic throughout the day. So I might forget your recommendation. And that's not ill will, that's just an overflow of information on my part. Anyway, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. And join me again soon, as we're going to be producing more of the city. Building it out, claiming new sectors, and also, at some point, connect to the other side of the water. So join me next time, and we'll continue building. Thank you for watching.